Well, hello again, happy stampers. This is Kate with Kate's Paper Creations. I'm actually just kind of thinking of changing it to Kate's Creations because I'm busy making all kinds of things with my Glowforge laser cutter and my Silhouette Cameo paper cutter and my Stampin' Up! Stuff. I'm a craftaholic. Maybe some of you are like that too. Anyway, I have one more paper pumpkin alternative for April 2022. And this is the card, and you know, you can take it or leave it. I had fun kind of messing with it, so I'll show you what I did. But before we get started, I want to remind you that today is May 5th, I think. Oh, it's Cinco de Mayo today. But you have until the 10th to sign up and subscribe to Paper Pumpkin and receive the kit for May, which is celebrating the in color. So the new 5 in colors that are coming up, it is Orchid, Oasis, Sweet Sorbet, Tahitian, Tide, Parakeet, Party, and Starry Sky colors, and they're all going to be featured in the new kit for May. So I'm anxious to see what it is. If you want to sign up for Paper Pumpkin, I'd love to have you sign up through me. I have a link in the box below. Okay, let's get started. Now, I am using only items from this month's kit, and except for the sentiment. The sentiment comes from a previous Paper Pumpkin, kit. Beyond the Horizon, I am using the phrase "a little note." That comes from that kit. But all the rest come from this one. This is going to be a quick and easy video. In my other video for the alternatives for this month, I included some information on lists of basic supplies to have in addition to your kit if you want to be doing alternatives, things that you will need, and one of them is basic white thick cardstock. And that's your ability to make more cards, because there'll typically only be 9 card bases in a kit, and if you start doing alternatives, you can find that you will end up making sometimes as many as 14 or more, so that you'll need other things for the bases. So that's what we're doing here with basic white thick 5.5 by 4.25 card. Then this came from the envelopes, and if you check out my other video, the link will be in the description below. I used half of the envelope to make a card previously, and this is the other half of that envelope. So I'm putting good use to taking an envelope apart. And I couldn't get past thinking that this looked like a tree. It just stuck in my head, and I couldn't get rid of it. So I said, okay, well, let's see what we can do to make this look like a tree. So I started by drawing with my markers. This is just soft suede. And I started with the brush end, and I just hand drew what I thought looked like a tree trunk. And so I just came down like that and down like that. And then I colored it in just like this. Now, if you've started collecting things besides Paper Pumpkin kits, you could probably use Blends pens for this. And Blends pens just color so beautifully. You don't end up with streak marks or anything, but this isn't bad. This is coming out nicely. I thought it looked a little bit flat, and so then I came back with Early Espresso and the pin end of it, and I added some squiggles like this just to give it that look of bark, and that really helped a lot with the trunk looking more like a tree trunk. Just like that. Then I wanted to make the tree look more like a tree. It was a little bit flat looking, so I'm using, I think this is what I used, evening evergreen marker, and I just started following the contour of the tree and making marks like this, not, you know, kind of offset from each other. So it kind of looks like there's lots of leaves, and it's just a really full tree. They're kind of short, maybe 1/4 of an inch or so, and just started randomly adding those until I had the area pretty well filled up. And it really did make a difference. I mean, it made it look like there were that this was just a really full, luscious green tree. And, you know, like I say, it's a matter of taste. You may think that this is uglier than what the kid had, or who knows. But you also might get kind of attracted to it like I did. You know, it's just totally a matter of taste sometimes, because we have all have such different views of what's beautiful. And so there I did the marks to make it look more like a tree, and you can see that there, right? Okay, then from one of the card fronts, it had the moon, and I did use a circle punch. I can't remember what size it is. Let me find out so I can tell you. It was a 1 3/4 circle punch, and I punched the moon out of one of the card fronts. And out of those same cards, I cut 2 of the clouds as well. And I stamped the small butterfly onto a piece of scrap white cardstock with Melon Mambo, and I cut it out. So there's that piece. And then this is from a previous kit, and I talked about that too. When you save your kits, put them in a case. I buy the standard Stampin' Up! Stamp cases. I put the Paper Pumpkin cover that Stampin' Up! Supplies that you can print off and cut to fit, and put it in the case so you know what the case is. It marks it on the back, what month and everything. And I save the extra pieces inside those, extra tags, extra embellishments, things like that. I just put them inside the case, and then I can go back and use them. So if you're a Paper Pumpkin only person, this is a really good way to keep your stuff. And then you can, when you are making new alternatives with a current kit, you can bring those things out and add to them stuff that you already have to make your alternatives, and you don't have to go think about buying stuff and adding to your collection, because you're doing Paper Pumpkins because you just like having that once a month kit, and maybe you're saving your kits. I would hope you're saving your kits, because you can also build up that collection of those stamping spots and have other colors you can use and all of that. So it just start ending up that you build a little bit of an inventory when you do the kits. And this is just kits that have been put out since January. So that's what I'm using. And so this was a piece left over from one of the kits, and I'm going to turn it over because the colors don't, well, they could match, but I don't want to use them. I'm going to turn it over this way, and we're going to stamp that phrase, a little note on it, with the Melon Mambo ink. And I'm going to stay kind of close to the left end of it, just like that, because I'm going to cut off the other end when I start building here. Now this can go on the front of the card, but we're going to finish here. In the kit for this month, there's this cute little group of design. It kind of looks like little flowers. And I am going to stamp it with Melon Mambo just here next to the tree, right at the base of the tree. So it looks like somebody's been growing flowers at the base of the tree. One on each side of the trunk, just like that. And then that's all the stamping that there is to do. So I'm going to put this away because I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to get ink where I don't want it. Okay, now here's one of the little tricks I did. Let me find my X-Acto knife. And what I did is I wanted this moon to go up under the tree, and I didn't want to have to try and cut that shape. So what I did is I just took my X-Acto knife and I cut right next to the edge of the tree, just like this. Just take your time. Do it nice and slow. And I think I came down a ways, so I'm just, it's not going to hurt anything if I go a little further. I think that's far enough. So it opens it up. And let's see if I've gone far enough for what I want to do. No, I need to go a little bit further. Okay. Let's do a little bit more. And now that will slide under like that. And I don't have to have that whole moon. I wanted just a portion of it peeking out from behind, right? Okay, so I'm going to put this on with just regular adhesive. Now in your kits you have glue dots to use, and that'll be perfect. I just pulled out my Stampin' Seal. And I'm going to tuck it under there, get it where I want it before it sets, and then I'm going to press it into place. And so there's my sun. Then I used this bigger cloud, but I didn't care for these ends that stick out. So I'm going to just kind of round this off and get rid of that guy on that end, and round this one off and get rid of it on this end. And this one, I think I did the same thing with this one. I got rid of this piece here and I just rounded it out like that. Okay, and I am going to tuck this also just a little bit so it's over the moon like that. And this would be glued down with glue dots or whatever adhesive it is you have that you might be using. And I'm going to tuck it in here and let it kind of come out like that. Then in your kit you also have dimensionals, and I'm going to get those. And I'm going to put dimensionals on this larger cloud. I don't know why. It would have looked just as cute flat, but that's what I did. So I'm going to put that on here like this. It's looking good. Looking good. Just a minute, I got to move my camera a minute. Yeah, sorry I had to do something there. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay, and then my little butterfly, where are you? Here you are. Needs a glue dot, and from previous kits, I have a mini glue dot that will fit that butterfly perfectly. And that little butterfly is just going to be flying here like that. And then I have my phrase, and I'm also going to put it on with dimensionals, but I want to kind of figure out where I want it. And since I've got this out, I might as well use it. I'm going to shorten this up. And we'll put some glue dots on this, just like this. And then we're going to put it on here. Just like that. And then we'll just, again, you could use, I stuck that to my surface. And then you could use your to attach this to your card front. Again, you can use your glue dots that you have. It's not going to hurt a thing to use your dots. Just put one on each corner and a couple down the sides. You don't have to put a bunch on there. They're very sticky, and your stuff will hold. Now this is cut so there'll end up being that 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So we're going to just bring it in here like this and stick it down. And there's the April 2022 Paper Pumpkin Alternative number 4 that I did. That's probably all I'm going to do for this kit this month, but I had a lot of fun making it, and so I thought I should share it with you. It took a while to kind of grow on me. Have you ever done that where you've made something and you go, oh, I don't know if I like that, and you walk away, but you come back and you go, yeah, I like it. I think it's kind of cute. So anyway, let me know what you think. Tell me what you think of this alternative. Tell me if you think you'll give it a try. I thought it put good use to that piece of envelope that we had left over from the other cards. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Be sure and check out the links below to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin through me, or to link to the other video where I made some other alternatives. Thanks again.